Hello, friends. How are y'all doing tonight? I am just praying that the right words come into my mouth to speak life and to encourage you this evening. I was at a Christian business conference this weekend. And, the real truth is, I just didn't feel like I belonged. I feel like I shouldn't really deserve to be in the room. And, my own personal I was going through my own personal struggles of feeling like worthy, feeling deserving, feeling, just valued. Maybe I just didn't feel like valued. And after the second day, I decided that I would go and I would get prayer because I want a breakthrough. I no longer wanted to stay in that state, no longer wanted to feel that way. And I know that I want to have the right mindset and I can learn all these wonderful strategies. If my mindset isn't right, then I'm going to hold myself back and I'm sick of that happening. And so I went and I asked for prayer and I had just a sweet presence of the Lord, just a feeling, an overwhelming sense of peace and of his presence. And I really have struggled with ever just feeling his love. I have asked I've pressed in and I've asked for this to be broken, this feeling like I know that like I can feel that I love my kids, right? But I didn't always feel that I could feel the love from other people. Like I didn't feel it, even though I might know it, like know it in my mind. But when it came to my heart, I couldn't feel it. And it was just like this cold feeling to me. And I just wanted that to be broken because I know that it was a way of protecting myself that was keeping me from the fulfillment and from the blessings that God has for me. And it's keeping me from my own best destiny. But when God puts something in your heart, he gives you the tools, he gives you the ability, even if you don't feel like you can. So I sat there, the person praying for me was in charge and is one of the leaders in the conference, and she said to go home and journal. And so I was just then I went back the next day and they actually had a church service at the conference, and I stayed in the back. And one of the other leaders says, "Hey, do you want me to find you a seat?" And I was like, "No, I just wanted to stay in the back." And when I was staying there in the back, it wasn't that I was feeling the presence of God, and I felt being touched and I felt my heart and talking about not quitting, not giving up, and continuing on in your vision that you have. And when, just things happen and it gets tiring, right? It's just tiring. Sometimes it just feels exhausting just going through the necessary things and feeling like, am I ever going to have a breakthrough that I want? Am I ever going to get to the other side? Do I see the light? And sometimes I just see darkness, even though you have the faith and the hope. Sometimes you just grow weary, right? And that's why I think there's a verse even that says to not grow weary in doing good. So I just felt like impressed in my spirit was, I am calling you from the back and I'm putting you in the front of the room. And so I was like, okay, maybe I'm just making, and as the conference went on in the afternoon, there was there was a prize, and it was an amazing, it was a $2,000 value, and my name was drawn and I was put in the front. And the lady who prayed for me the night before, she says, "That's a God wink for you." And it was just a real true reminder. God sees you. He saw me. He loves me. And he just wanted to shower his blessings on me. And he did want me in that room. I wasn't misplaced. It wasn't an accident that I was there. And I know that God has put you in rooms and in places and in relationships that you get to speak. He says that we'll get to speak to kings and people in power. And that is what he will do for you. He loves us so much. He wants to lavish his blessings on us. And sometimes we're not ready. And I think of it like this. It's like, I've prayed so hard, God, why won't you give me the answer to my prayer? And I think about my 10-year-old daughter. And I said, she might be really wanting, what if she really wanted to drive a car? I would say, No, not right now, because you're not ready for that. You're not ready for the responsibility. You don't have the ability to do that. You haven't grown into your body. There's all these things, right? And so sometimes God is just stretching us, giving us that capacity, giving us the ability so that we are ready to handle the blessings that He wants for us and to be the instrument in His hands to allow us to flourish in that way, because He doesn't want us to fail. He doesn't want us to flop when He puts that vision in us. That doesn't mean that we're not going to have obstacles to overcome, because I think that gives you strength. How do we get strong in the gym? It's not by sitting there bench pressing air. It's when I have the weights get on there, and when I'm struggling, that's how I get stronger. And I think the same thing happens in our faith. And I think one of the most important things to do is to practice our seeing, practice our faith. Go, not our fear, practice the faith, release the fear, replace the fear with faith in seeing the good of our future, seeing what is going to help us to get forward, seeing God blessing us, seeing us in the right places at the right time with the right things happening, seeing it before it happens. And that is one of the most important things that you can do, is to be able to see the good things. I think that we have practiced more practiced with fearing of what's going to go wrong, of the bad things that are going to happen, whether it's to your kids or to yourself, of what happens if I don't do this, what happens if this, what happens. And I'm not saying not to be prepared, but we can be prepared also in preparing for the good that God wants to give us and being ready. So just like, like my daughter who may want to, who I'm sure she's going to want to drive one day, and, teaching her now, preparing her now so that she gets the capacity and she can grow into the person that can handle that, and not being afraid, so afraid that at that proper time that she won't be able to have it. And I think that God is wanting to prepare us all along the way. And He loves to bless His children. And He loves to bless you. And He wants to use you to bless others. And so it's just like the spring, we get to be filled and overflowing. And if He puts an idea in you, then He wants to birth it through you, and He wants to give you the right relationships to happen. So go for it. Don't be afraid. And He is going to promote you into the places He wants you to be. If we allow Him to do that, He can do that. Instead of putting the brakes on and going, whoa, let's go. Yes. But sometimes, like like we were hearing also, is that sometimes when He says go, it doesn't mean yes, like right now. It's maybe just like I said, like I'm telling my daughter, yes, you can drive, just not yet. You're going to have to wait a few more years, right? So He loves us and He wants the best for us, and He delights to give us good things. And um, we don't have to. We get to be victorious in Him. We get to come from a place of victory, not a place of deficiency or where we aren't enough. So I love y'all guys. If you haven't been following along, I've been doing a proverb of the day. You can catch those as well. I have them on my wall and on my YouTube channel, and I look forward to connecting with you. You can get into my private messages if you would love to connect. If you are ready to go to the next go the next step, and you really want some accountability to help you to achieve the vision that God has put into you, that call is just calling you and calling you, and you really want to put some legs, some action to it, and you're not sure where to start, then direct message me. Let's work on that, and breathe, and God's going to do it through you. I love y'all guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.